Hello and welcome to the LampPod. It's me, Sam, and you,
Neil. Hello.
And this week, it's the 52nd podcast in the LampPod series.
We did it.
We did it. And this week, we have seen two releases on opposite ends of the sort of company rivalry of superheroes.
What a week for fandom, for general nerdism.
Definitely.
This week, ZACK SNYDER's Justice League came out, and the day we're recording this, the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out. And we're gonna primarily talk about Snyder Cut.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to say, because obviously there's a lot to watch.
Yeah, it's 4 hours long, so...
But it's possible we run out of things to say and we switch to... We're going to try and keep it within an hour again like we usually do, but we may, for whatever reason, switch to Falcon and Winter Soldier, because we always tangent. These podcasts are entirely filled with tangents, so...
If we do switch over to Falcon, it'll probably be... You probably can tell by whatever the title of this video is, and we'll also put like a timestamp or something down in the description in case you haven't seen one or the other.
Remind me to do that.
I won't.
Excellent. Fantastic. So just skim ahead and maybe you'll find Falcon Winter Soldier.
We'll put all the Justice League stuff in black and white, and then just so you know,
in a 4:3 ratio, and we'll go widescreen.
Amazing.
For, Falcon Winter Soldier. So yes, I think you watched it yesterday.
I watched it yesterday on release, and you've watched it today.
I've watched it today, about maybe an hour, potentially 2 hours ago. I finished it. Felt like an absolute epic journey to go on. What an investment of time. I can't imagine anyone has watched it in the space of 4 hours. I think it's a 4 hour movie that requires like 5 hours of viewing.
Yeah,
with the stops and ordering food.
Yeah, I was taking a peek because I watched it. I started at like 11 in the morning, 11 a.m. I'm not a madman, and I basically paused it and had like a 10-minute break in between. Like as soon as the black screen came up and it was like part 1, part 2.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was like, okay, have a breather, stretch my legs, do something. Because I'm not sitting down and watching 4 hours of this without moving. Like, that's not for me.
I didn't quite succeed at that. I did just see it through quite a bit, and then at one point I was like, man, I feel dizzy. So I had to leave. I was just like, all right, refresh, toilet break, sat back down, carried on. Then I was like, you know what? I need some food, so I ordered some food. Sat down again to watch it, and at that point there was still 2 hours to go. I was like, fucking hell, this is insane.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
But then so I think it's like part 5. Like it's the final part before the epilogue. That just happened, and I was like, yeah. And then the epilogue happened, and I was like, oh, okay.
What's happening?
Is this how we're ending this movie? Good. Weird, odd choice.
I'm wondering if we could pull off a sort of a Civil War-esque podcast from back in the day.
Step by step.
Yeah, if we could sort of recount it as best we can.
Yeah.
Maybe not over the course of 2.5 hours, but
yeah,
I think it's just...
That we basically did a commentary track for.
Yeah, pretty much. Still curious to this day to see how well we can sync up that podcast with watching that movie, but it's beside the point. Neither of us made notes. I think we're just happy to jump into this just fully making it up as we go along.
There was definitely there was so many moments where I was like, man, I should be making notes because I don't want to forget that one bit, but meh. That right. Now I do.
Here's my main primary thought the entire way through. The reason this movie is 4 hours is because half of it is in slow motion. If it was played at regular speed, you'd have a regular theatrical release.
There was one bit which we'll go through it step by step in a minute, but there was one bit where it was when Steppenwolf was attacking the Amazonians, and the Queen does this run, And
What were you
then
gonna say?
Steppenwolf like goes to attack her, and then she like turns and then runs up the wall.
Yeah.
But it's all in slow motion for no reason. And I was just like, this feels like what it's like to run in a dream. Have you ever tried running in a dream and you can't? You're
And
like,
it's just slow
you're like,
and
like
going through syrup.
yeah, like you're trying to wade through like thick water, and yeah, I was just like, make it stop. And then the fucking the big building that they collapse, that fell in slow motion.
Oh god,
and I was
yeah.
just
And
like,
then
make it
be
fall
surprised.
slower, like
Yeah.
and just have her move at a regular pace. What are you doing?
And like, I'm pretty sure she probably watched, like, she probably stood there watching the waves in slow motion as well. Like, there was this unnecessary slow motion that I think, like, this film is not bad by any stretch of the imagination.
To kick off, I really enjoyed it.
Like, I had a good time. But
best DC movie in my opinion.
Okay,
DCEU.
well,
DCEU.
we can discuss this. Shazam is fantastic.
Shazam is great. Yeah,
Shazam is good. But like, the thing is, it is style over substance. A lot of that like slow mo. It's like, use it once in a movie and it becomes this like pivotal moment. But when every single scene, including a scene of Lois Lane with a coffee cup walking up to a police bollard, is in slow motion, that doesn't mean anything. That's just pointless. It's just pants.
That was my like big issue with it. I had the exact same thought. I was like, yeah, this movie is, you could cut off a good half an hour of this film by just double timing some of the stuff.
Just doing it regular speed, like.
Like I get it's Zack Snyder and like that's his vision and all this stuff, but
yeah. And don't get me wrong, it does look stylish, but the problem is, especially like you're saying, like the Amazon scene and stuff, when you're doing like slow motion and they're doing wire work and like CG body doubles to do these sort of extraordinary movements, it just looks so fake. And I know we talk about wire work all the time and like Marvel does it fantastic. This is case in point when people don't move like human beings. Yes, they're superpowered, but it just looks stupid.
One thing that I thought this did like a million times better than than Justice League, than the 2017 one, was like Flash is so good in this film.
Oh yeah, totally.
Flash is like a highlight, and I was like, yeah, no, I could watch Flashpoint or whatever they're gonna call the Flash movie. I was like, this movie is great for him, but like it was because they cut out the dumb.
I mean, it's still
it's
there.
still,
The
but
dumb-
like not
the dumb
as
run.
much. That's
Yeah.
only when you're like he's going as fast as he can, and there's like no other way to show it.
Yeah.
Like you've got to.
I
Get
do
up
have a
there
theory.
with him.
Yeah, like my theory about that running motion is, I think if you played that back really fast, I think it would look good. Because the problem is with like the Flash TV show and stuff, they're all very like rigid and stuff when they do it. So when you speed it up, they look very like brrr.
Yeah.
But like when it's wide movements like that, you speed it up and it looks like really good. But the problem is they play it back slow-mo because it's Zack Snyder. So then he just looks like an idiot when he's sort of flapping his arms around.
But most of the time it was good, and like that whole bit with Iris.
Yeah, the shoes coming off, big appreciation for that.
Yes, that was cool. Very cool. And just
That makes it sound like I have a foot fetish. What I mean is the physics of it. That's, I suppose, just coming to me now is it kind of establishes that, you know, he can't wear regular shoes, and then later on when we see his weird suit and he's talking about like space tech and all this sort of stuff, like it makes sense. Like, oh, his shoes fell off, so he needs some kind of, you know, space
Super
shuttle.
stew.
Yeah. That scene was really good, and it sort of, you know, it felt like their answer to like Quicksilver.
yeah.
Like, this is us doing it now. Here's how we do it.
I think this like is just it's just 100 times better than the Joss Whedon one. Like it's just it's so like there's a story there, and like you could absolutely make a like 2.5 hour movie with what we've got. Just trim some stuff, speed some stuff up.
Yeah,
like
trim the Martian Manhunter.
I don't know. The way I viewed that is a like director's cut edition.
Yeah.
Like you don't need it, but like it's cool to have it there.
Yeah, I think like Zack Snyder on Instagram, or I think Zack Snyder has his own personal like social media like site. He doesn't even use Instagram. I think he uses his own thing.
Damn.
But on there, I'm pretty sure one of those back in the day, like after the Justice League came out, but before this, he posted on there like my intention was, to have this scene that would debut the Martian Manhunter and stuff. So I do wonder if that was like this is for the fans. Let's just chuck it in there, like
Yeah, I don't think you need, because that shot at the end where he like visits Bruce, that was shot like 2 weeks ago, right?
I think so.
Like,
it was very after the fact.
Ben Affleck looked nothing like he did in the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Like he looked skinny, he looked tired, he looked older.
Is that future scene as well, the vision he has prior to Martian Manhunter showing up, is that to me looks like it was filmed after the fact as well? Because obviously Jared Leto, I think, was brought in to film that. I think
they definitely added stuff.
Because I think, is it Ezra Miller, The Flash?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was a CG double for that whole scene. Because they only showed him twice, and then one of those, the mask came off, one of them, the mask went on.
Oh, maybe.
There's something uncanny about him. I was like, it doesn't seem like he had time to grow a mustache and sort of, put on the armor, and they're just like, fuck it. The whole body's like armored, so we'll just slap his face on a CG body double.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning.
Let's go back to the beginning.
I love the way the movie opens with Superman screaming and like the sound waves reflecting everywhere, and you get like Cyborg and stuff.
Yes, that was satisfying. That felt like a proper movie opening.
It felt like how Zack Snyder would open this film. Like after you've seen Batman v Superman recapping the end of Man of Steel, that felt like a very natural progression.
Yeah, it was a good flagpole to start us from. Here's what you know. Here's all the main players. Like, it showed us the locations and it showed us Cyborg. And it was a very good, place to start. And it did feel epic. Like, I will say, like, it felt like an epic sort of thing. And, it was a bit annoying because it I don't want to keep shitting on it, but, like, it was a long scene and you just kept hearing Superman going, yeah. It's like, we don't need to keep hearing it. Come on. But yeah, it certainly, I think it set the tone. It was like, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I was
this is better than like a Snapchat video or whatever it was.
I was very excited about it. Yeah, that was, I forgot. One thing I will say for this version is that it does like wipe the old one out of your brain. Like for me, I'm like, I can't really think about 2017 Justice League.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure watching this film, that one doesn't make any sense anymore. I think back on it, I'm like, how did they get anywhere? None of it's explained. I don't know.
The biggest one I thought of, and I'm sure there's bigger examples, but these two films don't tie up in the same way, because I think in the end of Justice League original version, one of the last shots is you see Cyborg changing his body to become the traditional Cyborg we know, but his dad's still alive. And obviously in this one he'd sacrificed himself. So there are key points. If they were to decide to make a Cyborg movie, they have to now choose which chronology do we go with. Is his dad dead or is his dad alive?
Said they're going with 2017.
Really?
I think so.
That feels like a bad move.
Yeah. Because you're gonna have to, in the Flash movie, it's never addressed that he's become a police forensics person.
That's true, yeah.
That was only in this, and it was great. I really enjoyed that. But
well, I mean, in the original, there's just no character to him at all. He has no arc or anything.
He's no one. Also, I don't want to get into because Joss Whedon is probably a bad person, but they really screwed Ray Fisher over because he's so good in this.
Yeah, it's so like his movie basically. Yeah, holy shit.
And like I did not care for Cyborg at all.
No.
And now I'm like, yeah, give me more of this guy. He's great.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they never gave us a reason to. Because I suppose it was literally it was a studio mandated 2-hour film. It had to be less than 2 hours, the original cut. So yeah, I suppose they were just like, yeah, no one cares about the Flash, no one cares about Cyborg. Come out, everyone loves Batman, everyone loves Superman. Put more of that in.
No, that's not how you movie. Like you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm glad that because apparently behind the scenes Ray Fisher was very upset with like Warner Brothers and stuff, and like the fact that his whole character had been removed. So I'm proud for him. I'm like very happy for him that he's finally gets to, like, this footage. Yeah, sees the light of day.
And it does make me upset that he's supposedly announced been removed from the Flash movie as well. I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh man,
the dude's good and he wants to be there. Like, just stop being shitty, Hollywood. Fuck.
Okay, I hope this film does well then, in that case. I hope they see big numbers for this movie and then they really start to reconsider their sort of direction that they're going with their series.
Because, like, I genuinely really enjoyed myself. And, like, it's far too long. But it just is fully the vision that the DCEU had set up prior to this.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's unapologetically like how they were going about it in those previous films.
Wonder Woman's great. Fucking Jason Momoa, I thought was shit as Aquaman in 2017. Like, kind of better in his own film.
Yeah,
but he's great, and like they're like, my man. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
With this version. Whereas in the 2017 one, I was like, why is he saying that? That's not the character at all. But it is.
Yeah. It's funny when it brings the guy back from there was a guy on a capsizing boat, brings him into the bar, and he's like, he didn't respect the storm. And he drinks all the whiskey, and he's like,
it's on him.
It's on him. Like, good characterization. I liked it.
Yeah. And also like having that opening scene where Bruce goes to find Arthur Curry, and he's talking to the bloke in like Danish or something, and then Bruce Wayne just like replies. This is what I want from my Batman. Genuinely, this is the best Batfleck's ever been. Yeah. So good,
because it was just nice not to have like the Joss Whedon like he's stumbling over his dialogue sort of stuff. So the line that Aquaman says where he's like, a man is stronger alone, or something like that. Like, obviously he says like the saying wrong. In the Joss Whedon cut, they added in a shot where Batfleck is like, that's not the saying at all, and he like he stumbles and stuff. Yeah. And like, I think there are videos on YouTube that like from years ago that were like pointing out that's clearly a added shot. Like the CG looks terrible there, his hairline's different. But it's just like refreshing not to have a character like that, because I think that is a very Joss Whedon thing.
Yeah.
But to do it with Batman is such a misfire. Like, Batman doesn't need to be like stumbling over his words and sort of. He just ignores the comment. Like, Aquaman says it, we're supposed to go, haha, you're an idiot. But Batman doesn't call him out on it. And I think
it just cuts to him and he's like
yeah,
kind of annoyed.
Zack Snyder, who was not very good at subtlety, also succeeded at subtlety. You know what I mean?
I think he understands Batman. And I think he understands Superman. I think he's just got his own interpretation of it, which people view as problematic. I'm not so tied to any specific version of Batman.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I
do what you want.
Let's not get into it here, but I'm very against having Batman kill in Batman v Superman. I think it was a strange choice, but
I'm fine with it because it's older Batman.
Yeah,
I would have liked like when Ben Affleck was doing the Batman before Matt Reeves took over, and then he left, and then Pattinson was Robert Pattinson's man was put on.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen a younger Bruce Wayne not killing, and like, so you see before and then like years down the line where he's jaded and he just doesn't care, so he's killing whoever. Like,
yeah.
Maybe there's some justification for that there.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah. Anyway, Justice League. ZACK SNYDER's Justice League. Weird. So Aquaman's leaving, and this, I hate shit like this, right? And I hate to use the word hate, but I keep using it. It's a strong word. But Aquaman leaves, and then it's like you get like the trope of like the weird mystical sort of like townsfolk, and they're all singing their like folk song.
Yeah.
And they're all staring at Batman as if they've never seen. They're all staring at Bruce Wayne as if they've never seen another human being before. It's like, this is not what people are like. You're not. These aren't people. These aren't characters. They're just like a. They're just like a prop,
sending
a
up
set
the
piece.
myth that is
Yeah.
Aquaman.
And like, I get it. And Zack Snyder's movies are very sort of like, they're mythical, and I understand why you're doing that. And it's almost like, yeah, these villagers are almost looking upon like Batman, who is like this living god of whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's not human, and it's weird. And then they start singing this overly dramatic song when Aquaman leaves, and it's like, it's just a guy.
Yeah, like
stop.
Like that, it annoyed me when they were all just staring at him in the bar. I was like, get on with your day. Like,
what do you do every day? Like, what are your lives? You've seen people before.
Like, because it's weird. Because then the other town he goes to, like, the bar is a bit more bustling, and I mean, where he drops the guy on the table and drinks the whiskey. Like that bar, it seems to have people in it because they're genuinely drinking, and like. They kind of look up at the door when he comes in, but then they get back on with their day.
Yeah.
Whereas all these
they're
people
suddenly
were just
normal people,
staring at the stranger.
Yeah, as if like they're like a unified mind of just like people who exist to be in awe of other people. It's like, these aren't. I don't believe this village. That they're not real people.
Yeah. I didn't mind the singing as much, because if Arthur comes and goes a lot, like. And he always seems to like, I think he like brings fish or something.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, yeah, he's kind of godlike. But like the bit where she sniffed the jumper, I was like, no, that's weird. Stop it.
I don't know. I just winced a little bit. I just thought it was a bit cringeworthy.
Also, why is he always taking off his shirt and leaving it?
And then when he emerges from the water, he has shirts on.
Yeah,
like when he went to sea to go and save the guy on the sinking boat, did he not take his shirt off then? You know what I mean? Like, why does he sometimes take it off? And
is it because it looks cool in slow motion, Zach? Yes.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Also, what the hell is going on with Amber Heard's accent?
I know. Thank you for bringing this up, because I wanted to.
What the fuck is that?
I like that wasn't what she did in Aquaman, right?
I don't think so. I think, okay, I'm assuming Justice League came out. Joss Whedon was like, this is terrible, and they like cut it out. And then Fast and Furious director man did Aquaman and was like, yeah, this sucks. All right, you're just doing your normal accent, Amber Heard. And then obviously this movie comes about, which all the footage is from years ago. And they're like, well, shit.
And we don't
should we dub it?
We don't want to bring back Amber Heard.
Yeah.
She's a bit controversial at the moment.
Yeah, also I suppose it was Zack's vision to have her have that specific accent, and I guess if he shot all those scenes where they're doing that accent, he must have been fine with it, presumably. So they're just like, go with it.
I guess it's them going, let's do Asgard. Everyone at Asgard has like the traditional British.
Yes.
Whereas, like, when she did, she was like, excuse me, sir, can you spare a penny for an orphan?
Yeah.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Here's a question.
Yes.
Before the power demons showed up in Aquaman land, there was a lot of, like, high-pitched squealing going on. Was that
That's how they sound underwater.
Yeah, because that was retconned in Aquaman. Because when they wanted to have a conversation, she'd have to keep making a bubble.
Yeah.
And they did a bubble with the Green Goblin guy as well.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Willem Dafoe.
So that's another retcon where they're like, this is ridiculous. These people can't keep having conversations in bubbles. Because it literally happened, like, repeatedly over the space of like a minute. It was like
a scene. Yeah. I did really like how, like, Steppenwolf is like swimming towards the mother boss, and she just makes the bubble, and he falls on his face.
That is clever, and that was in the original release as well.
Was it? Okay.
So at least we know it was a Zack Snyder idea.
Yeah,
like, yes, that was very clever. And then like he sort of took it a bit further as well, because then Mira's sort of like trying to pull like the moisture out of his body.
Oh, the pretty blood! Oh, that was cool.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Should we talk about Steppenwolf, because oh man,
he looks great.
The shittest villain in the 2017 release actually kind of low key felt sorry for him a little bit.
Yeah, he was like, it was cool, and he looked 1,000 times better. Mm-hmm. He didn't look like a PS2 like cutscene.
Yeah,
he looked like a genuine,
like an actual tank
present thing.
Yeah.
And like, I thought the extra fingers was odd to look at,
but like I liked it. I thought that was great.
I was like, cool. You gotta do. He's an alien. That's fine.
Because in the original, it was just sort of like a bony, tall, grey human, essentially, with like old armor, you know. Whereas now it looks like alien armor. The thing is, I'm not super into the armor design anyway. It's very like Megatron from Transformers, and it's sort of like
constantly moving and.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not really a design. You just put a bunch of like metal spikes on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could have done something. You could have had a few metal spikes and then something more intricate. That's fine. But like, the thing is, it's 100% better, and like massive horns on his head instead of a helmet. It's very cool, and like I kind of liked him probably because he had more screen time, so you could see his motivation. And the fact that he was so driven to get home.
He just wanted acceptance back from Darkseid.
Yeah, and I was like, come on, man.
Yeah,
you can do it, dude. Like,
kind of weirdly rooting for him. Like,
which is then when he gets like the most horrible defeat ever.
Yeah.
That I then start to question Zack Snyder's true like moral compass.
Yeah.
Like, is this fair?
Because, I mean, he's trying to destroy the world.
He's trying to destroy the world, yeah, but like, he didn't get close at all, really. I suppose he did.
Yeah,
the Flash literally rewound time. Yeah. But I don't know, it just, we'll go back to sort of the timeline in a sec, but like, these are our superheroes that we're rooting for, and yet the way they defeat the villain is Aquaman fucking backstabs him, throws him over his shoulder, and then Wonder Woman thinks it to be appropriate to fucking behead him.
Decapitate the boy.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, like, I think had Aquaman have just like, and then
have him back. Yeah. Let Darkseid finish him off.
Yeah, and then have Darkseid like, oh, I'm home.
Master, you failed. And then like, yeah.
That would have been, you didn't need Wonder Woman to chop his head off.
Because it was really weird the way it was like framed as well, because it was like Aquaman was like throwing him back to Darkseid, and she was like, "Nope." Because
I thought, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna end up in two halves," but I thought it was gonna be like, because like the portal closed or something. So like they get half of him, and then like half of him hits the ground, and then Aquaman's gonna be like, "Well, shit," like something like that, but nope.
Yeah. Where are we at? Where are we at in this movie? We're sort of vaguely going through it, I guess. Just key points that we can think of.
I like the fact that no one wants to join the Justice League.
Apart from Flash.
Yeah.
Like, straight away. Like,
I'll
join.
He's like, what?
It was really dumb when Wonder Woman was on the computer and then it says, "Come find me here." She goes there. Cyborg rockets in, is like, "Why are you following? Why are you trying to figure out where I am?" And she's like, I need you to join. He's like, fuck the world. And then he goes to leave. And I'm like, well, why did you invite her here? You could have just said that on the screen.
In the
like,
email.
Stop trying to find me. Like, what do you want? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why did you send her on this epic journey just to show up and then, like, be the one to leave? Like, you clearly wanted more information. It was silly. But, yeah.
I liked... So, okay. So, yeah, he joins... And then what?
Well, okay, so, you know, they recruit the Flash. A lot of that was the same. There's no mention of brunch, which is nice.
Yeah.
There's the... So what are your superpowers? I'm rich. Now, like, it cut away there during the Justice League original, but, like, in this one, it's sort of extended. You get, like, a... like, as he's, like, driving off.
Yeah, and he, like, skirts off up the highway.
Yeah. But, like, it's funny because, like, it's not, like, a clean, like, he just pulls out of the alleyway and drives off. He, like, pulls, and there's a car. And then he drives off.
Like, do you... to jump back a little bit, in the opening shot, when Superman's screaming, it cuts to Lex Luthor. And he's stood in the pool looking at Steppenwolf or Darkseid or whatever.
Yeah.
Was he there? Because it didn't look like he was in the water.
Yeah, they literally... I could do this effect on Premiere. You literally mask out the bottom of him and then drop him into a water. Because they didn't even animate the water around
like,
him.
it
was just like...
very weird.
That was the worst looking shot, and it was in the opening.
Yeah, I know,
movie,
and I was like, oh, they've really not done this well. And then the rest of it looks fine.
They've blown it already. Yeah.
But... Yeah, I was just like... Because a part of me was like, oh, wait, is that just how the water was and I just don't remember it? Like...
Yeah.
Like, what is it not actually water? It just kind of like looks like it. And
well, I actually paid attention to that later on. I was like, wait a minute, just in case. And then Aquaman's rippling through it, and it's like, okay, they fucked
that.
up.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
I'm glad you noticed that as well, because I was just like, that looks so weird.
It was very jarring and strange. Little random thought. I think they reused a shot from Man of Steel. The bit where I think Cyborg has the premonition of the future. I think before they do the electrocution thing. You can see Superman, he's on his knees and he's like crying, and I think Darkseid sort of touches him on the shoulder. When he touches him on the shoulder, that looks like Man of Steel era Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a shot of him when he's just killed.
Yeah,
he's just killed Zod.
Yeah.
Because he's got like the hair's kind of curly almost.
Yeah,
and he kind of looks like that, and it's the same framing and everything.
I had the same thought. I couldn't pin where it was, but I was like, I've seen that before. I've seen that specific face before.
It's like, I'm sad because I killed a guy.
A highlight of this 4-hour movie, if we can call it that. Fucking Jeremy Irons as Alfred is so good.
Yeah,
he's so fun.
Yeah, I don't have much memory of him from Batman v Superman or the original Justice League, but my impression of him was he was this like grizzled, like Zack Snyder-esque.
Yeah,
everyone's angry. But in this, he was like, "Oh, the tea,
the bloody tea."
I better find some more mugs.
But then he's also a total badass. Like he's the like there was a really nice bit where, like I can't remember the context, but Bruce Wayne goes, "No, I work for him." Like
that was. Quite
I was like, yeah. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a cool character, and he didn't get a lot of screen time, I suppose.
He got enough in a Justice League movie. Like there was plenty of Alfred.
Yeah, I was actually gonna message you earlier before I watched it, just to say like, just want to know one thing: is there more J.K. Simmons? And I'm glad I didn't, because there's not.
There's not.
What we had was all J.K. Simmons had, which then begs further the question: why was he working out?
Why
so
was
much
he
on
so
Instagram?
ripped at that point? What was that for?
What was that? It must have just been for personal reasons.
Was it for like 21 bridges or something? Like,
yeah, I ain't got a fucking clue. Like, because that was literally probably the only thing that really wasn't extended.
Yeah, there just
like if
wasn't
anything,
any
there was
extra.
an extra shot. Yeah, like if anything, it was the Flash runs off and you get an extra like, and that was it.
Yeah, like maybe
Weird.
that scene was longer just editing wise, like they just used more shots of him. But there was no. Was that bit where he was walking through the station? He's like, "How do you think? Like, how are you gonna get in contact?"
Oh, that might have been new. Yeah, he drops his notes in the bin.
Yeah,
because they're all rough around the edges in Gotham.
I liked it.
I don't need to read my notes.
Wig looked weird, but I can't tell if the wig looked weird because it's a wig or because it's J.K. Simmons with hair.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think of the line he says in Spider-Man where it's like, the only one I trust is my barber or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good wig. I like that wig.
Yeah, very good wig. What in them?
Anyway, what other wigs?
So the scene where they bring Superman back in the Joss Whedon cut, which I suppose we can look at as like the sort of, if this is the original or the intended version, Joss Whedon's reinterpretation of that scene was like, oh, you've got to zap the cube before it hits the water. You got to do it just to add that like bit of tension. Whereas in this, it was like, no, we're just gonna drop the cube and then you zap it and reactivate it, blah blah blah. Like there was none of that like added tension, but it was it was interesting like seeing that like time travel.
Where it like dips in and then dips back out.
Yeah, it's sort of like that Chekhov's time travel for later on, where he actually goes backwards. So
you get an
time.
understanding, like all these things have happened for Barry, and he's like, it's traveling faster than the speed of light, so he's moving faster than Image moves. So Image starts to move backwards.
Pulls him backwards or whatever. Yeah,
cool visual way of showing that.
Yeah, and I know you already said it, but like, I really liked, like, because in the original version, the Flash was a joke all the way through. He was just joking. He was the comic relief. In this, like, I really liked the moments where like he's spinning in the circle around the city to generate energy, and he's like properly like panicking. He's like, "Cyborg, are you ready?"
Yeah.
Like, I just really like those like human moments where he's not quipping every second. Like he actually had an important job to do, and he was doing it like serious.
He was like every member of the Justice League in this version is competent. They're good at what they do, and like that's so refreshing compared to the fucking Whedon version. And the bit where he gets shot and he like goes down and it's like, Barry, are you okay? It's like, I'm just winded, just need a minute.
Yeah, I actually
not like. He's not trying to distract from the mission. He's like, I'll be there. Like, I just need a sec.
Yeah. Well, the thing is as well with that, I actually did laugh, and my legitimate reaction was, oh, haha, oh, fuck, like, and like seeing his like gash and his thing, like it was such a weird moment. I was like, that's funny because it was almost like he was kind of crying about it, and he was like saying about being winded. I was like, oh, that's funny, and then I sort of saw his damage. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like it felt like he was trying to convincingly be like, there's nothing wrong, don't worry about me, you keep doing what you're doing.
He's doing his part, like, let's not make it all about me, sort of thing. That scene, I actually felt quite tense during that scene. Like, even though we've seen this film basically anyway, like it genuinely with Cyborg there, he's like locked into the system, he's trying to hack in, and like Aquaman and Wonder Woman have to hold back Steppenwolf. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. And like they're failing massively. Yeah. So good.
Because the thing was with Snyder especially, like there is the Watchmen, different versions of it. Like, one version they win and they save the day, and another version the fucking evil octopus like attacks Earth and destroys the world and all this stuff. And I was like, Snyder could very easily have, within this Snyder cut, rewrote the ending and killed everyone, because like, what's it matter? He's not getting sequels. So like the stakes were very high, because I was like, no, I genuinely don't know if this is gonna be the end of this, or if it's like So when it happened, I was like, okay, I guess that's what we're getting. And then I was expecting the Batman Joker sequence out of that instead of.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's interesting.
Instead of fucking like a dream sequence tagged on at the end, which I hated.
Yeah, it really did have a sort of Return of the King style ending where
I think it
ended
was so much
times.
worse than Return of the King.
Worse in Return of the King, or worse than?
Worse than, for sure.
Oh, definitely, because at least with Return of the King, there's like a through line.
Yeah, like
whereas this is like, and then this, and then this.
I thought the movie would have been great without the epilogue.
Well, I mean, you need the ending, right, with Superman and stuff. You mean, or
Well, he shouldn't have been wearing the black suit then.
yeah, that surprised me.
Like, you had the opportunity to do the Superman moment, and you chose the black suit.
But like, the thing is, I'm kind of all in with this now. Like, okay, I may live to regret this, but but like, this movie was like good to a point where I'm like, fuck it, keep going, just do this, because these characters, I do like them. You've set a good tone. Just you know, I don't want to say rein in Zack Snyder, but just sometimes if he goes a bit too far, just say no. Like, you're on a good track. Just don't botch it too much.
Just change Snyder to being the Kevin Feige.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, give him like the overall picture, let him be in charge of that, but then give individual directors like room to play within this world. Because I don't think Shazam fits this world. I think Shazam fits 2017 Justice League.
Yeah, it fits the MCU basically.
Yeah,
it's that kind of style. Which is maybe where you're saying that apparently they're going to stick to the 2017 one for chronology.
I think so.
Because that, like, as much of a shame as it is now seeing this, like, that one did set the tone for then Aquaman followed that tone. Shazam followed that tone. I haven't seen Wonder Woman 2.
It's terrible, but it follows that tone.
It follows that tone, yeah. So they're clearly trying to steer in that direction.
And
which is like
Birds of
now.
Prey.
Yeah, God, you're right. Yeah, Birds of Prey as well. But like now we know with this that it can work given the right circumstances, I guess, and
it's
perhaps
so upsetting.
elements of hindsight. Yeah. Like, even with the success, the DCEU has another blunder in that, like, it's like, well, shit, we could have had this and this could have set us off on like these new movies. I have no idea how this is going to be received elsewhere. I liked it. You liked it.
I really liked. I genuinely like. I'm considering cutting it down, and like just making a like bite-sized version.
Because I know you like the Martian Manhunter stuff, and like I was like, oh shit, when it appeared.
When it with the Mar Kent, and that blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Like, it was wild, but at the same time, that scene is a lot more effective if it actually is Mark Kent. So, like, you can completely cut him, cut his, like, end credit scene, or just do that as an end credit. That ending works if the mid-credit is like, well, one of the two, and then the post-credit is the other one, you know what I mean? They don't all have to, like, come at the end of the movie. They could be in the credits, buried away. Because they're not connected to like the full product, you know what I mean? The product ended when Superman opens his sort of shirt.
Yeah.
And then you put that stuff in after the credits.
Yeah, that's absolutely a good place to end it. I don't think you need Leto's Joker.
No, not at all. No, it's just, that is all just fan service,
yeah.
and which I get, because I mean the Zack Snyder cut was requested for by the fans. He's probably like, love you guys. Here's like everything you want.
Yeah,
like, it's all here. Let's make the Joker good. Like, was he good? Let's attempt to make the Joker good. Here's a joke about him reaching round and stuff.
I'm just gonna give you a reach around. Yeah, I just don't think Leto's good casting, but it was definitely a better Joker than Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, I mean, anything would be, I suppose.
Is he
again, benefit of hindsight.
Is he going to be in the Suicide Squad?
No.
Okay.
Good. I'm 99% sure he isn't.
Okay.
Yeah. Good movie. There's a hell of a lot to talk about, really.
There's
and I'm
so
sure a lot
much.
of it will come back to us. later after the fact. Anything that immediately comes to mind before we sort of start thinking about wrapping up?
Batman in the final sequence, just driving his car, doing his shit. Good.
Oh, the one time where slow-mo I was cool with it is when it slows down and you get the hero shot of the team.
Yeah, I like the hero shot.
Which is absolutely hilarious because it's like all the team and the team is the Batmobile. You don't even get Batman there. It's.
I was expecting him to like
Batmobile
crash and like
come out the glass
and like the wings behind and then the slow like. But no, it was just Batmobile.
Something that stood out to me, Cyborg, the bit where he takes over the Batman machine. I remember in the original trailer, he was there like, I'm going to take over, do I know you? And it's like the right way up. And then Joss Whedon does it and he's like, how do we make this shot more interesting? So he flips it upside down. So then the shot is now upside down. I'm going to take over. Hi, Alfred. Oh, hi, do I know you? And then in this, Zack Snyder's like, how do I change it even more? Let's put broken glass in front of the shot. So we've had 3 different versions of that shot now, which is just fantastic.
I could genuinely talk about Ray Fisher's performance for like hours. And the dad, whose name escapes me, but he was in Blues Brothers 2000.
I might be wrong in saying as well.
2.
I think, there we go, Terminator 2. Yeah.
Because there was that whole thing about him like playing with robots again, like
can't help himself. Grisly imagery of a fucking bodiless Ray Fisher.
Yeah,
like Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
But like, that's the thing in this version, the mother box giving him the powers. I was like, that makes sense to me. Sure, I can see that happening. Like, whereas in the 2017 version, I was like, what?
Well, yeah, and I mean, in the way it was presented in the 2017 version, it was a plot hole because they say in that movie, like, oh, the mother box is reactivated after Superman died, and yet earlier in the Superman v Batman movie, you see the footage of Cyborg being rebuilt by the box. It was like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. And in this, we find out his dad figured out a way to activate it, but it didn't call out to the other ones because it knew Superman was still alive. I've just remembered the last thing I wanted to talk about. Right. What? Okay, I think this is the most annoying thing about the movie. I hate to leave it on a sour note. Maybe we'll talk about
I'm sure I'll throw something back your way.
Yeah. So they find out that the anti-life equation or whatever is on Earth. And he's like, I found the planet that has it. This is the planet where they defeated you all those years ago. This is the Defiant planet. It's like, you knew. How did you not figure that out earlier? You're there talking about Amazonians and Atlanteans. And like, surely 5,000 years ago, you knew they were Atlanteans and stuff. And like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and
but
he even says like they've got no lanterns or the Kryptonian. You knew this was Earth. What are you talking about? Did you lose it on the map 5,000 years ago? You like left. You're like, oh wait, shit. Where were we? What was that place?
I mean,
who just beat us?
I'm willing to let that be what it is. Like, yeah, sure, they didn't know where they were. Fine.
That's the, I suppose. All right.
Because like, I've always just like, why don't they just go back the next day? Like,
yeah, you've terraformed 100,000 planets. You're gonna forget one.
Yeah,
I guess. But like, if none of them defied you, you would remember the one where they beat you, right? And you would put a massive flagpole, like, yeah, we should come back here later. You know, they defied us.
Maybe that's what it should have been said. It should have been like, yeah. Like, it could have been Darkseid either sending Steppenwolf on like what is essentially a suicide mission because he knows Earth will win, or Steppenwolf being like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the one you couldn't, and then that will earn my respect back.
Yeah, because then I'd like that character even more. Just like the balls on him to be like, I'm gonna do it. I'm going for it. And then he lost.
Shit.
That was the only thing that stuck out as really annoying to me.
That's fair. I didn't catch that, but I'm pretty good at like ignoring shit like that on the most part, unless it's like a blaringly obvious plot hole.
Yeah.
What can I say to end on a high note? To bring it back. Oh, Superman was cool. We haven't talked about Superman, but it was it's fucking cool and like was barely in it, and I liked it that way.
Yeah, I've never been a big like cool like Superman in a black suit, awesome. Like I finally got it in this. I was like, all right, that is fucking pretty sweet. And you sort of get the mirrored shot of like Man of Steel where he puts his hand or his like fist on the rocks and the sort of swirlies, and that whole sequence was fantastic. I loved hearing both of his dads talk about him.
Yeah.
All their sort of respective clips and like the kind of crossover between what they were saying. I'm sure that wasn't really intentional, but they've engineered it in quite a cool way.
What's that new dialogue?
I think most of it was repeated. I recognised a lot of those lines.
Yeah,
from
towards the end, I was like, "Is this new?" Feels.
I mean, it wouldn't have been hard, would it? I suppose to give him a call and just say, "Hey, can you phone in some lines?"
Because like, I'm pretty sure that's what they sort of said. They were trying not to do anything with actors, and just kind of use what they've got. Yeah. But then I guess that went out the window.
It certainly seemed like they got Gal Gadot to phone it in when she was doing the like, here's what happened 5,000 years ago. She was like, and then they attacked, and Zeus was there. Ares was also Ares still had a mustache. Ares fucking 5,000 years ago still had his World War I mustache.
I really think that Zeus should have been played by Gerard Butler.
Like, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure he probably wanted that to happen, but they couldn't get him, so they had a look-alike. Because he looked like Leonidas from 300.
Straight up was the same character. To the point where until he started doing like zappy shit, I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Who's this Leonidas looking motherfucker? Okay, one final thing I want to say, which I thought was really, really sweet. Mm-hmm. The bit where fucking Cyborg was like telling a story, and he went back into like Nazi occupied Germany.
And he was like,
but like he was walking through it, but he was still talking. But it was very obviously still the audio from when he was telling the Justice League about it.
Oh right, yeah. So sort of like,
but like the way that they like got him to like talk along with it was like so good, and it just worked so well. And I'm glad they didn't just like re-record it on location, because you still have the same like acoustics and like reverb and stuff. I was just like, that's cool. Like it feels like we're in his head as opposed to actually in Nazi.
Yeah. Yeah. That was good. That was a good thing. Interesting, like, just writing point between Zach and Joss. Like, Joss was like, this scene they need to disagree and everyone should have an argument. Whereas Zach was like, no, they're just all on board. And, like, they only have second doubts right at the end, right before they bring Superman back. Like, Aquaman's like, maybe we shouldn't do this. But, like, in the Joss Whedon one, they're like, Wonder Woman's like, we can't do this, it's unethical. Whereas like this, they're like, we're all thinking this.
I'm pretty sure Aquaman is like the whole time like, this is dumb, we shouldn't do this. But like, he's just like on board and like, okay, this is what we need to do. But he's the only one second guessing, which I'm glad you had someone doing it.
Yeah.
Also, the bit where Aquaman and Wonder Woman were talking is like an Atlantean and a Amazonian. We haven't spoken thousands of years, and like they just had like a little bit of a chat at the van. I was like, this is cool.
That was another benefit of having such a lengthy movie, was just everyone got to just have character and talk to each other about stuff like that. It was quite funny because like that scene, like Wonder Woman's obviously there, like trying to like be like, wow, what a pivotal moment in our histories of our cultures, and then Aquaman's like, yeah, I don't really talk to the Atlanteans either, so this doesn't really mean anything.
Or the fact that they both had the like same saying, I was like, this is sweet.
Yeah, this is cute. And then at the end, he's like, I'm gonna go see my dad, and I'm like, yeah, go see Jango Fett.
Go to see Tamara Morrison.
Tamara Morrison.
I think that's his name.
Yeah, I think it is like Tamara Morrison. I should probably rewatch that movie now. Just like
Aquaman?
Just yeah, because they were talking about like who was on the throne. Like, I was like, who is on the throne? Is it the angry guy?
Is it Dolph Lundgren or is it?
Yeah, or is it silver faced
Wilson?
bloke? The eyes that move.
Yeah.
And he shouts a lot. It's like, oh, like all the way through. Atlantis!
Yeah, like, okay.
Yeah.
It could have been.
Oh, fucking! Why every single time Wonder Woman punches someone, it has to be like, "Hey,
Yeah, I was like, what
please
is this
stop.
music? What is happening?
I could be wrong, but I think they were trying to like. I think they're trying to slowly get away from the like.
Yeah, because they only used it like twice, I think, in this.
They use it like twice, but it's like it's an electric guitar. Like, what's it doing? Or an electric violin?
like,
I don't know what it is.
Like, do something cleverer than that. Do something where you're like, you rework the ba-na-na-na-na-na-na into like chanting or something.
Well, I think that's maybe what they tried to do.
Yeah, it felt like some sort of prayer that you'd hear in like Turkey or something.
Yeah.
It was nice.
No, it wasn't.
It was very jarring.
I hated it every time.
I never thought I'd miss the Hans Zimmer electric guitar thing, but boy did I. Oh boy.
Why Superman be bully?
Well, when he comes back?
Yeah.
Because he so I think the way that they do it was he's initially threatened by.
Oh no, I sorry, I meant when he's fighting our best guy, bloody Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf's like, no, please, and he's like, oh,
to the ground.
And then he'll like stop, think about it. Laser eyes! Ah! And he
cuts off his head.
He's already dead.
Yeah, he did. He did go hard.
I was like, just pin him.
Yeah, just hold him.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I thought that as well. You're saying
There
a lot
was
of
a
things that
moment.
I thought but like repressed because I just really enjoyed the experience.
Yeah. All in all, I had a great time, and the fact that it's so long and you just sink your teeth into it. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
But in that moment, we keep going. Fuck it. It looked like the way it was shot. It looked like all of the characters were sort of looking at Superman like, but they didn't really do anything with it. And I thought maybe they were going to look at Superman as he continuously punches him to be like, maybe he's not all there.
Maybe he ain't good.
Maybe we should kill him again.
So speaking of him being all there, the whole stuff of him and Lois going back to the farm and Ma Kent. What the fuck's her name? Martha. That's the one.
Save Martha.
I was close. I had the first syllable down. And Martha Kent. Yeah, like that I thought was done really well. It's real good.
Yeah.
Real good stuff.
Yeah, it was. There were a few moments where I was like, "Man, this is touching and like emotional and like it was getting to me." Probably a few bits of Cyborg and stuff. It's all pretty fucked up.
He really didn't have good luck in his life.
Yeah,
but then the bit where he's like, "It's fake. There's no bio leak," and then like he walks through the door. He's like, "No, get everybody out. That's fine."
Yeah,
and then he did like the head nod, and then he dies. It was good.
Yeah, I mean things like that. It is a shame that they didn't sort of resolve that a bit better because he has just like he'll never get a chance to sort of I suppose he did listen to the audio recording. That bothered me when he it just rebuilt itself. I was like,
well, he has full control over.
yeah, but it's like debris. I thought he would have like, you know,
I think it was
morphed with it. Or
going
something.
into the mother bots can turn smoke back into a house.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's so broken. What is DC's obsession with like the most OP characters possible? Like even Cyborg is like in the first scene with him where they explain his powers. It's like you have control over literally everything
gives a
on
random
the planet.
woman like 100,000 quid. Where'd that money come from? Who'd he steal
Yeah,
that
was,
from?
Yeah, that's true. That was a scene that existed.
It's quite
And,
nice.
like, yeah, I suppose it was nice. It certainly padded the movie.
Yeah, it was there.
Yeah.
I might try at some point if I'm really bored.
Mm.
Like just try and cut out like even if I cut out like an hour,
Mm.
it'd probably be more digestible.
Yeah. Cut that out. Cut out some of the random scenes of Lois like waking up doing nothing, and then it just cuts away to something else. It's like, remember, Lois is here, and she will be important.
She's the
in
key
3
to
hours'
everything.
time. She is the key to everything. Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of sad that was going to be like a longer played out thing than what Joss Whedon did with it and made her the key to bringing Clark back.
Yeah, to making him sane. That is another Joss Whedonism. So in this version, it's not like Batman's not being vague. Like if it all goes wrong when Superman comes back, I'll use the big gun, and then it's like, bring out the big gun, Alfred, and then the big gun is Lois Lane.
Yeah.
That's a very like Joss Whedon thing to do. It's like, you know, give something like a name that doesn't really fit it, and sort of, you know, like something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, it's just like that's just her daily routine.
Yeah,
It just
it
happens
was
to
the,
be. He
the
comes back
last
alive
time
when
she
she's
was doing it as well. Like she was just
Yeah.
had to give herself some closure. That I all liked. I was like, that's cool. The whole thing with her like giving the coffee cup. Nice.
I just don't get like if this had gone through, nothing went wrong. You know, obviously, family catastrophe didn't happen. Warner Brothers were just like, yep, you know, do your thing, but just don't make it too long. Like if this movie came out in theaters, it presumably wouldn't have been 4 hours. What the hell? Like, there's so much stuff happening that like it would have been a mess. I think this is probably the best case scenario. Really,
Yeah.
as sad as it is to say, like this is the best case. 'cause
This
you
is
can
the best
release it at
version
home
of this
streaming.
film. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like you could definitely. There is a lot of fat you could trim.
Yeah. But it just feels like a lot of that fat is like, because you don't want to lose any of the characterization of Cyborg or Flash. You want to keep that in there, and like things like Lois Lane, so much setting up of Lois Lane, and like, you know, you need to establish that she's sort of going there and coming and going, and she's not being at her job and all this sort of stuff. You got like, you're setting all that up so when Superman shows up, she doesn't randomly arrive, which is what I completely understand. Then why Joss Whedon cutting it down to 2 hours is like, well, then Batman brings her in, like, you know,
Yeah,
like,
Batman remembers that she's the key and blah blah blah. Blah.
yeah. So it's sort of, it's like I get it.
I mean, I'm
This is
okay.
so much
That's
plot.
probably one of the few ways where I'm like, I'm okay with either version. Where I'm like, yeah, sure, Batman brings her because that makes sense. They should have explained it more and been like be very obvious that Batman's not around, like for the whole bringing him back thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
I
is
think,
there
I think we
anything
probably-
else?
Nothing springs to mind.
One thing I will say, I think not having the like musical cues from the original properties, it's kind of a missed thing. I did like, because it was very like understated and like
To be honest, I'm actually chill with them not being there.
I'm chill with them not
because-
being there, but I think having had them there and now them not, I'm like, I like that. That was nice.
Yeah. I liked it as well. Like, because I don't hate the original release of Justice League. Like, there's something silly about it, and like, there's like a dumb morning cartoon like kind of movie. Like, it's not good, but I just enjoy it. But I think that was definitely put there because it was like alright, this movie's falling to pieces. Like, we've got to do it within 2 hours. Like, let's just play to the audience. What do people know? Just chuck in the Batman theme. Just chuck in the
John
Superman
Williams
theme.
and Danny Elfman and enjoy.
You're literally like chucking a treat to like a dog. You know what I mean? It's just like just keep them happy. Fuck it. Just chuck it in there. You know, like people won't question it. They've never used those in the previous movies. It's a bit silly to use. I liked it.
No, I get what you're saying. Like, I liked it, but it wasn't needed.
It's sort of like the bringing in the for Spider-Man Homecoming. Like, you're doing that from the get-go. If in Man of Steel they used that sort of that musical sting back then, then I'd be chill with them doing it now. But it's just silly then to sort of suddenly I'm getting very burpy all of a sudden. This alcohol.
That's all right. We'll wrap up after this.
It just I liked it as a cool inclusion, but they would need to. I would prefer.
Yeah, it would actually have to be a leitmotif as opposed to. Yeah, because it could have very easily been a Casino Royale thing where Superman is finally Supermaning at the end of Man of Steel. So you get him running down, he's opening the shirt, and then you get over the credits. And then,
I think that was the bit they used in Justice League. He like punches Steppenwolf and it goes
yeah.
Just to like sort of tickles something in your brain. Oh, I recognise that. This film's good now because I recognised that thing.
that flicked a switch in my brain. That means I like it.
I like things that I knows.
It's very true.
That's how Warner Brothers see the audience.
You're not wrong.
And they're right.
Now let's cut Ray Fisher out of this whole movie.
Let's make Flash even more of a joke than he already is.
Great. Anyway, that made me excited to watch Flash.
Yeah, if and when it comes out.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, so the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, let's next one.
Let's save that for next week. We'll talk about 2 episodes of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
I can't believe this is part 1 of 4 of Justice League. Can you believe that?
4 hours. We got 12 hours of Justice League. Here we go.
I don't know how I missed that last week. I was just like, it was 4 parts.
I think there was so much speculation and everything, like, because I had someone tell me that it wasn't going to be in 3/4 or whatever it was.
Oh, right.
And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure. And then someone was like, no, it's going to be in black and white. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever.
Oh, God,
like, there was so many unconfirms about it.
Yeah.
But also, I hate you for making me think that forevermore on the internet.
I'm so sorry. It's there forever now.
I can't believe you did this to me.
Anyway, that was our discussion of Justice League 2021, the Zack Snyder edition.
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
4x3.
Black and white.
Black
4 parts.
4 part.
Yeah. If you're still here, well done.
GG.
And if you haven't seen it, why are you still here? You're still waiting for Winter Soldier? Come back next week.
Yeah, we timestamped it to now.
To next week.
To next week. Cool. Yeah, fuck it. So we'll be back next week to talk about the first 2 episodes of The Falcon and Winter Soldier. So yeah, we'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to leave a like and smack subscribe, and thank you very much. Cheers.